first half. I guess without Kevin Durant on the court, he figured I'll go get mine real quick. GA, do they basically just need two of the big three to carry this offense on any given night?
Yeah, I think they could. They can win games that way, but they're going to need those three to also impact the game defensively if they want to have a chance at a chip. And offensively, though, you're talking about as gifted a trio as I've ever seen on one team. And you know, when a guy's getting 29 a game and he's your third option, that's just scary. And Kyrie, not only is he getting that, he's getting it efficiently, over 50 from the field, over 40 from three, and well over 90 from the free throw line. And so, I mean, you put that trio together on any given night, they're definitely, you're not going to sleep well the night before.
25, 7 assists, 5 rebounds for Kyrie. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 24 points, 4 assists. And how about Theo Maledon? I mean, 24 points, new career high. So it's a 13-point game, Smitty, but it never got close to the rim.
Well, no, not when you have guys hitting shots like this from downtown. And also, where do you help when you have this type of talent on the floor? Other guys around them are starting to gain confidence, chemistry, continuity. It's getting ugly for the league when this team gets going.
TLC with 13, you saw him hit that last shot. So they can get buckets from other people, too. Don't get that confused. James Harden, 25 points, 11 assists, 10.
Matches a franchise record in regulation. You have 9 guys in double figures. That hasn't happened since '84 with the Nets. You know, how satisfying are wins, you know, like this with everybody chipping in and being involved?
Very, very great. The ball was moving. We were active on both ends on the floor. Coaches drew up a beautiful game plan, and we executed on both ends of the ball. So, you know, we like to see carryover. In these last few games, we've been carrying over. We've been playing well, especially on the defensive end, and it's showing. So we just got to keep it up.
James, I know the chemistry improves with each passing game and the more you play with the guys, but could you give me an example of an example that highlights, you know, how your familiarity has grown with these guys, maybe a play or something in communication that just highlights how that familiarity has strengthened?
Even just listening, like Joe, you know, I tell the guards, you know, Dort does a really good job of trying to be physical and stay on my body the entire game. So our guards did a really good job of coming and screening, and that allowed me to get downhill. That allowed them to get open shots and things like that, to where you can listen, they can incorporate it into the game on the fly, and we can go out there and execute it. And that's going to be huge going down later in the season when games are, you know, closer and going into the postseason. So just small little keys like that, to where, you know, they go out there, listen, and they go execute it, and it makes our team that much better.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, James. You mentioned executing on both ends, particularly the defensive end. You guys held them without a basket for 8 minutes. I'm curious, Steve was talking about the game plan, and you guys did a good job executing the defensive game plan. Have the coaches changed what they're asking from you guys defensively? Have they tweaked things, or are you guys just simply understanding better what's being asked of you defensively?
Both. We're catching the rhythm, obviously, offensively, but defensively as well. We know we're learning our strengths and our weaknesses and things that we can, you know, get better at. You know, and every game is going to be different. You know, tonight Shai was, you know, had it going. You know, we knew that Al had it going, so we wanted to kind of get the basketball out of those guys' hands and make somebody else make a play. And then from the beginning of the game, we did that. So it's a little bit of both. Our effort, you know, getting to know each other, you know, obviously on the court, and then coaches just doing an unbelievable job of switching up throughout the course of the game and showing the opposing team different looks.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, James, I asked you not too long ago what it's like, you know, learning to play with Kyrie, and you said it's going to be a process. 50 points, 18 assists between you guys today without KD. Can you just talk about what that process has been like and just what your level of comfortability is next to him now?
I never say how long the process is going to take. You know, but Kai is special, you know, and so he got it going in that third quarter, and, you know, we just wanted him to keep going, you know, until he missed. And even when he missed, keep going again. But, you know, we just got to find that balance of, you know, of when to be aggressive and when to make plays. And I think even with our aggressiveness, we're still, you know, playmakers. And so, you know, I think through the course of the game, we did a really good job of, you know, getting our guys involved, but then being aggressive and scoring the ball as well. So, and nothing really changes even when KD's in the lineup as well.
Tom Dowd, BrooklynNets.com.
Hey, James, you played with Jeff Green a while ago in Oklahoma City and then last year in Houston. What's his impact and influence on this group, and specifically even his voice, kind of off the court in the locker room and things like that?
One of the perfect glue guy, both ends of the floor, offensively able to shoot the ball, able to, space the floor and get bigs, out there on the perimeter, which they're very uncomfortable, rebounding, athletic. And then just off the court, he just blends in very, very well. He's a funny guy and someone that, you would like to be around. So he's just one of those guys that, can fit in anywhere he goes. And for these last 2 years, obviously early in my career, but even for these last 2 years, I'm grateful to have him, on the same team as me.
Matt Brooks, Nets Daily.
Hey James, you guys had 70 points in the paint. Are you feeling like there's like you're building a little bit more comfortability with the bigs on your team, just with when they flip, when they roll?
Yeah, and even our guards, like Bruce did an unbelievable job of setting screens, of being a cutter, of doing, playing to his strengths. And then we have shooters out there to knock down shots whenever you overhelp. So for opposing teams, you got to pick your poison, and tonight we dominated the paint and we dominated, the three ball, making 19 threes. So it's gonna be tough for teams to figure it out, but whatever they do, we're prepared for it.
Hey, Kyrie, I know all wins are important and great, but when you guys have 9 guys scoring double figures, something that's only happened one other time in franchise history, that was in '84. How satisfying are wins like that when everybody's involved?
It's very satisfying anytime you can get a win, but anytime, the whole team can play well, we could do some great things as a collective group, it definitely stands out of the rest. So definitely proud of our guys tonight for competing on both ends of the floor and, just not letting the foot off the gas pedal.
In what ways are you seeing the familiarity and the chemistry continue to grow with this now 8 games with James in the mix?
Just taking it day by day. I'm always going to say that I won't take any day for granted. This doesn't happen often in history where, you have this group together at this point. Some of the guys were starters last year in their respective teams, and, other guys are MVP candidates. And to have all of that collective talent, and not get the most out of it, we'd be doing ourselves a disservice. So we just want to continue to just push each other and hold each other accountable.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Kyrie, some of your finishes around the rim just really don't make any sense. Do you credit any one person for helping you develop that part of your game? And was that something that you worked on maybe on playgrounds, or was that something that you worked on, in maybe in school and in practice in school? Like, how did you start building that ability to finish around the rim?
Just a consistent work ethic. And, way before I got to the NBA, I was always doing these moves. I just was kind of the guy in the neighborhood, that had a kind of unorthodox way of finishing at the rim, and now being able to do it on the biggest stage, in the NBA. I just try to stay consistent with keeping my eyes on the rim and making sure that I'm diverse, or, I'm able to keep the defense guessing at the rim, left hand, right hand finishes, and just continuing to inspire the youth, really the guys that are coming after me or that watch me or study my game, that, you have 2 hands and you should be able to use both equally well. So I think that gives me an advantage, in terms of anybody else you compare me to. But, my finishing at the rim is only a small part of my game that I credit to my work ethic.
Tom Dowd, BrooklynNets.com.
Hey, Kyrie, the other day Bruce Brown was saying offensively he just tries to kind of find some cracks in the defense and fill the space. Have you noticed him as being a guy who moves really well without the ball and kind of pops in those spaces where you expect there to be holes in the defense?
Yeah, in my what I was saying a little minute ago was, some of these guys on our team that we have were starters. So they know how to play the game very well. When I was going against Detroit last year, Bruce was the starting point guard, and he was able to still find ways to be effective. And I feel like with this group, you're going to get open shots, and being in the right spots when we collapse the defense, it creates opportunities, and we just want guys to stay aggressive and just make the right plays, even if it doesn't go our way. You know, just be in the right spots, and Bruce happens to be in the right spot. So, you know, he's one of those guys that could just sniff out the ball and put himself in position, having a huge impact on our team. So I'm proud of him.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Kai, as many points as you guys put up, I mean, you did hold them without a basket for about 8 minutes. And Steve was talking about how you guys were doing a better job with the defensive game plan. I'm curious, is that you guys as a group understanding more what's being asked and demanded of you, or is that a situation where he says, I tried this, it didn't work, let me adjust the game plan to what these guys need to have me put forth?
I think it has to be circumstantial. It has to be situational for us. You know, we're going to be challenged every night. We're going to get everybody's best shot. But I think what we're doing now is just finding a continuity to be able to utilize the strengths that we do have. We've identified some weaknesses, obviously, just doing the little details of the game, boxing out, getting back on defense, limiting ourselves from turning the ball over, and just staying communicative. And then everything else is pretty much in control for us, you know, getting offensive execution at a very high level. And when you're making shots and you're efficient, then it makes the game easier to manage. I'm not the only one that's managing the game, so I just play my role.
Last question, Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Kyrie, Reggie Perry had his first career double-double for you guys. Just, you know, him being a rookie, getting significant minutes for you guys. What have you seen out of him so far this year?
Just a willingness to get better, and also just a high-level understanding, of himself, just as a competitor. You know, sometimes rookies they can come in very timid, and, you know, especially being drafted into a great team like this. But he's easily, you know, accepting his role, and we want him to continue to learn and to be doing that on the fly as a young man coming straight from college. You know, it's very impressive. So we just want him to continue to work hard and continue to learn from us. You know, a few of us here have been through some things, and we just want to make sure we leave the game in a better space with Reggie as he gets better in this league.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.
Burke, this morning I needed to channel my inner Kingston and really come into the day strong. So let's just play that video one more time, because I just need it on a repeat. Because I don't think we watched it with you. Your son was 7 here. He's now 9. It's the walk-off that really does it for me. The mean mugging and the arms out.
Oh, my Lord.
This kid looks like he's about to stomp through Tokyo.
Unbelievable.
Godzilla right there.
What sport? Is he still playing hoops? Or he playing football?
Yeah, he's still playing. He's playing both. He still played both. So he's playing AAU basketball right now, but he played football. He played nose guard. But look, I told him he got to get about 10 or 15 pounds off of him to play basketball. So I'm thinking about putting him on that keto diet at an early age. I don't want him looking like me.
Well, what does he want to play most? What does he like? What does he like most, Kendrick? Does he like basketball or football most? He looked like he liked football, even though he playing basketball.
No, he actually liked basketball, and to be honest, he got way more skills than I ever had. To be honest, you got to see him out there on the court.
Well,
Steve,
listen, I would say this.
Shooting that broke.
Kendrick, I saw his handle. I saw his handle and driving to the basket. I mean, he's got a nice handle for a big boy. Because you certainly didn't. You didn't have a handle, Kendrick. You didn't have the ball handling skills. You
Here we go.
You can't put that boy on a diet. He's hungry. Look at him. He likes to eat. That's just the way it is.
I'm just saying.
You can't put your 9-year-old on keto. That's not right. Let the kid eat a carb.
Appetite.
Gotta live.
That brother, boy, he gonna beat up some people. I'm just telling you right now. Listen, he'd be in the force for me. I'm telling you right now. The Knicks could use him now.
Stephen A. wants
the Knicks could use him now.
Watch out, Juvie. Stephen A. wants him for security. All right, Perk, let's be serious here, though, because I'm a little bit confused. The big three, I don't know what the deal is. First time they all play together, they get beat by the Cavs. What's your biggest worry with them?
Well, it's the defensive side of it, Molly. Look, offensively, they're going to score buckets, right? But look, on the offensive end, let me address this first. Steve Nash is going to have to emphasize the word sacrifice, Kyrie Irving, who had been out his first game back, he comes out and take 28 shots. Now, he was balling. I get that. But if you're on a championship contender, and I heard an interview from Kevin Durant saying, yeah, James and I, back in the day, we were young boys, but we're grown men. Well, since y'all grown men, y'all have to address what's going on, because if I'm Joe Harris, a guy that they paid $72 million to get buckets and to shoot the ball, I don't want to be just standing in the corner not being able to get touches. You're going to need those guys in the long haul, especially in the postseason, to make shots. Role players help you win games in the playoffs. Defensively, they couldn't guard Stephen A., Max, Molly, and myself on the court right now. I mean, they're just giving up whatever. The Cavs shot 50% from the field and 50% from the three. And I said this when they lost Jared Allen. That was a huge blow. No knock on DeAndre Jordan, but he's just not there right now. It was so bad that they moved KD to the 5 last night, and I just didn't like it. They have to find a defensive identity, because right now, people are looking at them and licking their chops knowing that, hey, I could go drop 42 points, or should I say, give them 4,200 buns.
Kendrick, just like I said to Max, I'm not disagreeing about the defense. What I'm saying that it's clear they have to fix that. But the reason I bring up their offense, even though I know they're going to score buckets, it's got to be a problem if Kyrie Irving, even though he was flat out balling. First of all, when you taking difficult shots late and the ball is not in Kevin Durant's hands, and number two, you take 24 shots to James Harden's 14. I don't think that's something that could happen. Everybody know you got to come together defensively. You can't just let people score 120, 130, or 40 on you. But offensively, how in God's name do you shoot twice as many times as James Harden?
Well, I think that's on Steve Nash, Stephen A., because I said this yesterday to Dominique on First Take. I said, listen, if I'm Steve Nash, I'm using Kyrie like a 6-man. And that doesn't mean I'm not starting him, but that means that I'm going to play him probably the first 6 minutes of the first quarter, and then I'm going to bring him in the start of the second to help the bench out and let Kyrie rock out. If you look at their bench production last night, they had 10 points from the bench. 10 points. So what I'm saying is James Harden is doing a great job of facilitating. So you take Kyrie out early, and now you allow guys like Joe Harris, you allow guys like DeAndre Jordan and Jeff Green to get shots at the basket and let Kyrie come in off the bench and just say, here, Kyrie, go off, do what you do best, and that's score the damn basketball.
Perk, you and I see it exactly alike, with one exception. Kyrie can't continue to do what he did, but I don't mind a dude just getting back, not getting in his own head. Oh, I got to defer. I can't take shots. Kyrie just went out, did his thing. If that continues, if he's shooting 28 times, that's a problem. I didn't mind it first game back. But I want to get to what you said about defensive identity. They need to get defensive rebounds. Like, they need to be able to get some defensive rebounds. And without Jared Allen on the team, where's that going to come from? Do you think it's defensive identity, like they can solve it with who they have on their roster? Or do you think they need to add a piece to do that kind of dirty work?
No, I actually think they need to add a few pieces. And like I said, there's no knock on DeAndre Jordan, because I still believe that he's a backup center in the league. But another thing that I saw last night, Max, was that the defensive scheme. Like, I don't know why they had DeAndre Jordan in a drop coverage. Like, looking at them defensively in the pick and roll, he was in a drop, and I saw so many times that the Cavs were running pick and rolls, and Colin Sexton was coming off and doing 1-2 pull-ups, and DeAndre Jordan was just dropping back. And then sometimes he didn't know if he was switching or not, so they all have to get on the same page. But at the end of the day, Steve Nash going to have to hold KD accountable. He's going to have to hold Kyrie accountable. And he's going to have to hold James Harden accountable on the defensive end. Because guess what? All the big threes, people could say what they want about Steph and Klay, but I tell you what, that Golden State Warrior team, when they was going to the finals and winning those championships, everybody was praising their offense, but guess what they were ranked? They were always ranked top 3 defensively.
Thank Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.